That was on the heels of a win against Chicago on Monday night. And joining us right now on the Nick Cattle Show, Sports 1140 KHTK, is our friend, Coach Alvin Gentry. Coach, thank you as always for joining us. We appreciate your time. Let me ask you first and foremost, the latest on De'Aaron Fox and that hand injury.
Well, we had it X-rayed and everything, and it's going to be one of those things where short term we just got to manage the pain, but long term it's going to be fine,
Good. So it all checked out okay, just a pain management thing. I want to ask you, Coach, watching it last night, it was rather obvious that, Foxy was uncomfortable. And I know Katie said during the game that it got to the point where they might want to take him out for a while here because he's not really helping the team as much as he usually does. How does a decision like that play out? Is there a point when you say to the player, I've got to take you out, or do you leave that in the hands of Fox?
Well, no, I left it in the hands of him. I mean, he's, and I know sometimes you got to protect players from themselves, but, Darren is a pretty, stand-up guy, and I said, he said, listen, it's some pain there, but I feel like I can help the team. And what he's done over the last 3 weeks, I think he deserves to make that decision.
Did the medical staff look at him? I'm guessing we saw him go into the tunnel right before the half. I'm guessing the medical staff looked at him and he knew that there was nothing that would be significant. Exactly.
So, it was just a management of pain, really. And, in that situation right there, he felt like he could help us win a game. And so I've got to be able to trust him, and we'll go from there. So.
Coach Gentry with us here on the Nick Cattle Show on this Thursday. The last two games, Coach, Chicago on Monday night, Milwaukee last night, have been two of the best games that I've seen from this team quite a while. What's been the biggest difference to you? Is there one theme connecting those two games?
Well, I don't know if there's one theme, but I think the guys are learning to play with each other more. They're learning to play with Sabonis. Obviously we got Rich back in the lineup, and we were able to play those two guys together some. And I thought Donte had his best game as a King. So there was a lot of factors, and he's played that way in the last few games and stuff. So it's just the idea of coming together and competing at the highest level. And I think that's what we've done the last couple of games.
It's like you and I were texting each other before this interview because I was going to ask you about Donte next. He's shooting much better from 3 of the last 9 games, Coach. What's that do to your offense?
Well, it really helps because I think, obviously with Fox out there, he's going to create shots, and we've got to be able to knock him down. But I think Donte has shown when his feet are set and, his shoulders squared, he's a pretty good shooter,
How much do you guys talk about shot selection with him? Because it does seem like over the last few games especially, the shot selection has improved.
Well, I think what we've talked about is that, getting yourself to a position and get yourself set. And if your feet are set and the ball comes to you, then, you got to shoot those shots. And I think what he's done, he's gotten his feet set, and with his shoulders squared, he's a pretty doggone good shooter, I think.
Could we see Donte in the starting 5 anytime soon?
There's a possibility, but, I do like him coming off the bench and the role that he's playing and stuff. I don't think it really has any effect on his minutes, and I don't know if he's going to play more minutes by starting. And I like that combination of he and Davion out there. So we'll take a look at it, but we do like the roles that everybody is kind of falling into now.
Yeah, he played. I think it was 30 minutes last night, so he definitely played a good chunk of minutes. He played, I think, 10 more minutes than Holiday did last night. So he's not starting, but he's playing the minutes. Coach, obviously, Coach Gentry with us here on the Nick Cattle Show. You've had a number of big leads that have been wasted, right? A lot of games where you're up 19, you're up 20. Somehow you guys lose those games. And, of course, in the moment, nobody likes that, right? It stinks. Stinks out loud.
Oh, yes.
But
yes, it does.
but when you're losing those several big leads, right? You're losing those kinds of games. Do you think at least there might be a silver lining as a coach? You tell me that the guys can learn from that experience, and they learn pretty quickly that, no lead is safe, even though that's cliche, but it's true?
Well, yeah, I think that's one of the things you can learn. I think the other thing, if you want to put a positive spin on it, is that we're capable of getting a 20-point lead against some of the better teams in the league. And so from that standpoint, it's a positive, but you want to eliminate the negative part by saying we've got to be able to finish those games. When we get up a 20-point lead on some of the teams that we've had, you got to be able to just finish those games.
You look at some of that success in big picture. I'm not going to ask you individually because it's not fair to the guys that are no longer here. Big picture, Coach, when you look at your roster, you look at your team playing right now, this team better than the team you had before the deadline?
Well, I think it's a better fit. There's guys that better fit stuff. And I like the guys that we had, and obviously we got rid of, a few players that we really felt very good about, but, in order to get good players, you're going to have to trade a good player, and so we're comfortable with the group that we have now. And, hopefully they can grow together and we can get this thing to the point of winning games. And like I said to somebody last night, the fan base and our fans here have been unbelievable. They've done a great job of being behind this team, and every night in that arena, they're great. So we want to give them something to really cheer for, and not, something tangible. And those are W's, I think.
I know talk show hosts do it. I know fans do it. Do coaches look at the stats of guys that were just traded off their team? Do you know what Tyrese Halliburton, for example, has done as a Pacer?
Oh, yeah, of course you do. I mean, I keep up with them. Number one, I really like those guys. And as I told someone with Buddy, I drafted Buddy in New Orleans.
Right. So
I really like him, think he's a good guy. And, Marvin I've known since he was 10 years old. So, but I think what you got to do is that, you got to try to figure out from, a business standpoint, what is the best for your team and how you can move forward. And I think that's what Monty and Wes have done. And I think it's a real positive thing, and that we're headed in the right direction.
Coach Alvin Gentry with us here on the Nick Cattle Show. Coach, again, thanks for the time. We got a few more left for you. One of the guys you brought back in those deals that we're talking about, Trey Lyles, he does a lot of little things, Coach. Last night watching the game, I thought he defended Giannis, and look, it's Giannis. He defended Giannis relatively well. His work on the glass. What have been your impressions of Lyles since the deal brought him here?
Very, very pleasant surprise. He really has been. And, the thing last night, I thought he did a really good job on Giannis, but, obviously – that guy is a beast. So, but I thought I did. He drew two charging fouls on him.
Yep.
And a couple of other calls that could have gone either way. But I like to see him shoot the three ball a little more because I think he's very capable of doing that. But he can put the ball down and get it to the basket and create plays a lot better than I anticipated also.
You implied about the calls last night, that fourth quarter late. How did you not throw furniture with that officiating crew?
Trust me, it came through my mind. It crossed my mind. It crossed my mind. But, like I said to the guys, we just got to keep playing and keep competing. We won't worry about the officiating and leave that up to me. And I thought they did. I thought our guys did a great job. You just got to give you got to give Milwaukee credit, though. Man, when they had to step up and make big shots, they really stepped up and made big shots. But that's how you get to become an NBA champion also.
No doubt about it. Talked about it earlier in the show. Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, those guys knocked down some big threes late. From my untrained eye, Davion's mechanics look pretty clean. Do you think it's only a matter of time that he becomes a consistent shooter from distance?
Yeah, definitely. I can even see the improvement right now. He's shooting with a little more arc on it and getting it off just a little bit quicker. But, he puts in the work. I'm not worried about him because he will become a consistent shooter simply because he's going to put in the work to do it.
Coach Alvin Gentry with us. Two more for you, Coach. Just your thoughts on the Celtics. They come into town tomorrow night. They've been really one of the best teams in the league since January 1st. What do you see when you watch them on film?
Well, I think what you see is they got a bunch of guys that's similar size. They're very good defensively. Tatum is obviously one of the best players in the league right now and has played that way. They're a gritty defensive team, and you have to take care of the ball against them, and you have to understand that they're going to be into you. So your cuts and your passes have to be on point.
Last one for you, of course, on Saturday this weekend. Fans are going out to say goodbye to Arco Arena. Just wanted your thoughts, Coach. Any memories, any specific memory, any general feel of coaching at Arco, being involved with Arco, the Sacramento crowds, any memories of any of that?
It's a nightmare for me. Okay, playing in that building, and what the fan base brought as far as just the backing behind the team and the loudness. Now we didn't get as many of the cowbells as Phil Jackson, but it was pretty loud in there. And I still think they're great fans. Like I said, the fan support that we've had here this year has been phenomenal, and they've been behind this team. And I can't imagine once we get this thing turned around and start to win again and do it consistently. I do think that this is the best fans in the whole league.
Great stuff, Coach. Enjoyed this. Let's do it again next week. Be good. Good luck tomorrow night and over the weekend.
Sounds good.
There goes Coach Gentry here on the Nick Cattle Show, Sports 1140 KHTK. So we learned a lot. De'Aaron Fox, it's a pain management thing. It doesn't sound like it's anything significant, so he's just going to have to manage the pain and get through it. And Coach said he's going to go off of what Foxy says to him. He is not going to pull him out of the game unless it's rather obvious he's going through pain that he can't deal with. A lot of stuff, Donte's shooting. Coach Gentry likes the idea of having Donte come off the bench. Donte Davion. I think both those guys last night, that combination in the backcourt, you want to talk about ferocious.